Hey, how y'all doing? My name's Lightning John, and welcome to Nancy Drew and the Secret of the Old Clock. This is a very nostalgic game for me. I played it all the time as a kid. We had two Nancy Drew games. This one and another one where you're on a train. I can't remember the name though. Hopefully I can find that one too, but for right now, let's just play this one and get right on into it. I'm a senior citizen. I'm 80 years old, so senior detective.
The year 1930.
That
The
was a long
place,
time ago.
the road to Titusville, where we find Nancy Drew behind the wheel of her blue roadster, pondering this question. Why did Emily Crandall, a girl whom Nancy knows only through their mutual friend Helen Corning, ask Nancy to drive all the way out to the Lilac Inn to
Why'd you
see her?
suddenly get so much
Does it
quieter?
have something to do with the fact that Emily's mother died barely a month
It
earlier,
might.
leaving Emily to run the restaurant with only her guardian to help her? And more important, why, when she called, did Emily sound so desperate?
Sometimes
The
you
spunky
sound
teenager
desperate.
turns off the main road, blissfully unaware that Emily isn't all that awaits her at the end of the driveway.
Death also awaits.
No, Nancy Drew is about to get her first taste of the mystery, intrigue, and adventure that are to become her destiny.
Oh, you're on. I should have probably went through the tutorial because I don't really remember how to play. Let's go through the tutorial real quick. I won't bog y'all down. Don't worry. Oh. Woo! Doing donuts in 1930. All right, and we're back. I know how to do things now. Yeah, I remember this music. I don't know how to get out of this though. There we go. Hello.
Well,
Hello.
I'll bet my bloomers you're Nancy Drew.
That's right. Are you Emily's guardian?
That's right. Are you Emily's guardian?
You got it. I'm Jane Willoughby.
Jane
I'm
Willoughby.
Emily's guardian, but only for the next 3 months until she turns 18. Then she's on her
Only
own.
3 months. Might as well just let her
it
go.
Smells like someone's been baking pies.
Pies are the Lilac Inn specialty. We get orders from all over. Oh, that reminds me, your father called. You're supposed to call him. You can use the coin phone on the porch.
All right.
Emily didn't say anything about you coming until just this morning.
She did?
She didn't?
Don't get me wrong, she can invite anybody here she wants. It's just that she's gotten so darn forgetful lately.
Well, her mom did just die. The music stopped.
Maybe she's just, still thinking about her mom.
She misses her mom, that's for sure. So do I. Gloria and me, we were best friends, you know? The two of us ran this swell little dress shop over in Capital City.
I know where that is.
She got
It's in the
hitched and
capital.
I didn't. And the next thing I know, she's writing me saying it would sure take a load off her mind if I could take care of her little girl should something ever happen to her.
Emily's father...
Emily's father...
Died in the war.
Happens.
Cantigny, I think. Anyway,
Cantigny?
I couldn't say no. I mean, what are best friends for? I just wish I knew how to help.
Did she not have, like, any, like, closer relatives? Like a sister? Or a brother? You had to ask her best friend? Help her do what?
Help her do what?
She's been acting so... Look, go talk to her. She probably just needs to spend some time with a bearcat like you instead of some dumb Dora like me. Go on
Those
up,
are
she's in her
slings that
room.
still exist.
Just make like a Boy Scout and be prepared.
Alright. Don't pick up any wooden nickels, ma'am. Oh wait, I missed where she said she was. Also, I do know who did it, I remember, but I won't say it in case y'all want to, like, play along. Hello.
Nancy, hi. Welcome to the Lilac Inn. Oh, and before I forget, thank you for that nice note you sent me when Mom
You're welcome.
died. It meant a lot to
Least
me.
I can do. I lost my mother too.
Well, I lost my mom too, years ago. I kind of know how you feel.
You and I may not be best friends or anything, but you're still one of the nicest
I
people I know.
barely know you. You obviously need to get out more. I am the meanest person in existence. I must be the only person you know.
You obviously need to get out more.
That's why I'm hoping you'll do me a favor. A big favor. You and your dad?
What about my dad?
My dad?
Helen says he's a lawyer.
Shh!
Okay.
What's wrong?
I thought I heard something.
All I heard was
Your
shh.
father has a safe, right?
Yeah, it's the 1930s. Lots of people have
This
safes.
is 1930. Lots of people have safes.
See this jewelry?
No,
I'd like you to take
I'm
it
blind.
home with you and put it in your father's safe.
It's beautiful.
It was my mother's. The few times I saw her wear it, she looked just like a movie star. I was hiding it here in my room, but all things considered, I'd feel a lot better if you would just take it home and have your father lock it up in his safe.
What about all things considered?
What do you mean, all things considered?
Strange things have been going on around here. That's all I can say. I know it sounds loony, and Jane probably told you that I've
She
been
did.
acting loony, but please do this for me.
Oh God! Wait, hold up,
What was that?
hold up. Oh no!
Emily, come downstairs, quick! The kitchen's on fire!
I love the static fire.
Come on, we better get out of here.
A lot of that was a horrifying sounding explosion. I don't remember that happening.
This is horrible, just horrible.
Horrible.
The fire chief says the stove was completely destroyed and there's smoke damage everywhere. The inn will have to shut down for months, maybe even for good.
That's not good. I love that pause. What caused the explosion?
Does he know what caused the explosion?
It looked to him like one of the burners on the stove had been left on.
Happens.
The flame either went out or was never lit, but anyway, something made a spark and boom. He said insurance companies are very reluctant to pay out when things look hinky, and that's when times are good.
Hinky's a good word. I think I should use that more often. Where'd Emily go?
Where did Emily go? She was right here.
She
Emily
bamboozled
was
on
the
off.
last person to use the stove. Like I said, she's been real forgetful lately. I think she's pretty upset, but it's not her fault. What with her mom passing away barely a month ago, and me showing up, this total stranger who doesn't know the first thing about kids or running a restaurant, and her trying to do everything all by herself. It's just too much, that's all. Who wouldn't go a little off their nut?
I like that answer didn't answer my question, but answered the other one
I
instead.
better get that. The line to the regular phone got burned up in the fire, so now the only phone we got is the coin phone on the porch. Excuse me.
You are not oh, you just disappeared.
Oh no!
Emily?
Zoop. Up the stairs we go. You good, girl? I ain't knocking, I'm just coming right in.
My mother's jewelry! It's gone! Someone must have stolen it while we were all downstairs.
That's not good.
I knew something like this was
Why are you
going to
sitting
happen.
now?
I just knew it.
No, let's start with the first one. This one seems a little accusative. You mean the sort of thing happened
You
before?
mean this sort of thing has happened
I don't know why I'm
before?
saying it, she says it.
Yes. No. I'd rather not say, but I will say this. I did not leave the stove on. That fire was not my fault. Oh, what am I going to do? Without that jewelry, I don't have a prayer of paying for a new stove, and without a stove, I'll have to sell the inn, and if I lose the inn... I wish Mom were still here. I wish Josiah
Oh,
Crowley had
the
left us
audio
the
jump.
money like he always said he
Who?
was going to. That's what I wish.
Who's Josiah?
Yeah, that's what I want to
Crowley?
know.
He was this old man that lived next door. He died last year. He spent most of his time here at the inn, and he led my mom and me to believe that he'd left a lot of money for us in his will.
Wow.
He gave us a clock, and afterwards, he'd always point to it and get this little twinkle in his eye and say, "Time will tell." But when they finally found his will, he didn't leave us a penny.
Maybe it's in the clock. This seems pretty obvious. I actually don't remember if it is or not. It just feels like it should be. Maybe he didn't leave you anything because he didn't have anything.
Maybe he didn't leave you anything because he didn't have anything.
Oh, he didn't act like it, but he was rich.
Oh.
His estate was worth almost $250,000.
That's worth $1 million in today's
Everything
money.
went to Richard Topham. He's this man who claims to be able to help people develop their paranormal
I remember him.
powers.
How did Josiah Crowley know him?
Josiah was kind of a screwball. One time he showed up at my birthday party dressed as my great-aunt Harriet.
That's
I didn't know
hilarious.
it was really him until 2 days later.
Wow.
Anyway, he had all these weird hobbies.
Good
and he
disguise.
always thought it would be really keen to read minds. Josiah invited Richard Topham to move in so Topham could help him develop his paranormal powers right there in his house. Josiah was a sweet old man, and I do miss him. And he was free to give his money to whomever he wanted. But to get our hopes up like that, and then leave us nothing, it just wasn't like him.
How many people knew you kept your mother's jewelry in here?
How many people knew you kept your mother's jewelry in here?
Don't repeat me,
No.
Nancy.
Well, Jane, my guardian, she knew, but I didn't tell anyone else.
Was it insured?
Was your mother's jewelry insured?
Gosh, I forgot about that. I don't know. Jim Archer, I bet he'd know. He's our banker. I guess I should go talk to him.
I'll let
Not
her
one of
say
your
it.
favorite people, huh?
Oh no, Mr. Archer's very nice. I mean, for a stuffy old banker. I'm just so bad at business things. And Jane, my guardian, she tries hard, but she's no good at it either. Maybe you could go talk to him. Please? It would be such a big
I mean,
help.
that's not my job, but I guess.
I guess.
He runs the Main Street Bank. You can't miss it. I'll call him and tell
Yeah,
him
it's
you're
on Main
coming.
Street. Where's Richard?
Where is Richard Topham now?
He still lives in Josiah's house, which is right down the path out back. His house and the inn were built at the same time by two brothers during the Civil War.
Alright, I'll be back in a little bit.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Don't forget to call your father.
Alright, yeah, now that I have free range, let's just go call my dad. Cat! Oh, yeah, that's the hobo symbols.
Drop a nickel into the slot, please. There we go.
Here we go.
How may I be of service?
Carson Drew speaking.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
I see you got to Titusville okay.
Ran like a top. I don't know what that means. Is that good? Oh, like a spinning top? Was it spinning all the time? Woo!
I got your message. Is something wrong?
No, everything's fine. I need to get some documents from a colleague over there. I thought since you were in the area, you could pick them up. Save him paying postage.
Sure. What's the
Why is
address?
everyone
He said
giving
he
me
just leaves
jobs
them for you at the telegraph
that I don't need to
office.
do?
Just drive into town and look for Tubby Telegrams. He said you can't miss it.
Will
Net-
do.
These
These
papers
aren't my
are
job.
extremely
What does a guardian do anyway? Nancy's not the smartest.
Goodbye, Dad.
keep in touch.
Alright, time to do a bunch of jobs that aren't mine, like insurance stuff for stuff that I don't own, picking up papers that could just be mailed easily.
That car I saw before is gone.
Ooh, suspicious. No pothole. Woo! Ah! Oh, there's the bank. Hey, Jim.
Hello! Are you Nancy Drew?
Sounds like Emily called you.
Sounds like Emily called you.
Yes, ma'am. Jim Archer. I'm founder, president, manager, and just about everything else you can name when it comes to this fine enterprise.
That seems a little rude to say. Did Emily tell you why I'm here?
Did Emily tell you why I'm here?
She just said you were coming and that she'd appreciate it if I would talk to you. Terrible thing, losing her mother like that.
Happens.
Then being saddled with that restaurant, especially now.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Ever since the stock market
Oh,
crashed,
yeah.
one business after another has
1930.
closed, including banks. President Hoover keeps saying that a recovery is just around the corner, but you have to
War
wonder.
is just around the corner, actually. Some people, oh, we're heading for a depression,
Some people
alright.
say we're headed for a depression.
Well, that kind of pessimism is not only misguided, it's pointless. Thinking ahead and taking action. That's what we businessmen should be doing right now. And I'm happy to report that we're doing just fine, thank you. Excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. How can I help you?
Was it insured?
Do you happen to know whether the jewelry Emily inherited from her mother was insured?
Well, I know for a fact that it was not. Why?
Because someone snuck into the inn today and stole it.
Oh, no.
You
I
don't
heard
sound
there
that
had been a fire
concerned.
in the kitchen, but when it rains, it pours, doesn't
Man,
it?
that
I
news traveled
told Gloria
fast.
not to let that policy lapse.
Why did she let it lapse?
She felt that since Josiah Crowley would be leaving her a large sum of money when he died, or so she thought, paying to insure her jewelry just wasn't necessary.
I mean, you should probably still insure your jewelry because, like, you didn't know when he was going to die. How do you know? How do you know Josiah?
How well did you know Josiah Crowley?
Well enough for him to name me executor of his will. An executor is the person who makes sure the terms of a will
Thanks,
are
I
carried out.
knew that. Just like I know what a guardian does.
Why do you think he wound up leaving Gloria nothing?
I have no idea. Truth be told, he'd given me the impression that I would be well taken care of when he passed on too. but when I finally read his will, it all went to Topham.
Starting to sound like Josiah was a pathological liar. How do you know Jane?
How well do you know Jane Willoughby? You know, Emily's guardian?
Not well at all. Met her once or twice. Seemed a little flighty.
Probably
Do you
Probably
think Emily's
not.
going to be able to run the inn by herself?
Times are just
Probably
too
not.
tough. If she's smart, she'll sell before the bills start piling up.
Alright, where did he keep his will?
Where did Josiah keep his will?
He'd hidden it in a chest of drawers in his house. It took me months to find it. When he named me executor, he said he'd tell me where it was hidden when the time was right. Whatever that meant.
Yeah, that's extremely weird. This guy's a little, like, eccentric.
The will you found in Josiah's house. Is it possible that Josiah didn't really write it?
Well, the thought that it could be a forgery did cross my mind. But an expert verified that the will had been typed on Josiah's typewriter and signed in Josiah's hand.
Doesn't someone need to be, like a lawyer need to be there to, like, do something? Was that just not a thing in 1930?
But Richard Topham lived in Josiah's house. He had access to his typewriter, and he could have copied his signature.
As far as the law is concerned, the matter is closed, Miss Drew.
Well,
But it's possible that Josiah's real will is still out there. Are you sure he
In
never
the
gave
clock.
you any clue as to where he'd hidden his will?
Whenever I asked him, he said he'd tell me when the time is right.
it's in the
Although,
clock.
He got a safe deposit box here about 3 years ago.
Maybe that's where his real
in the
will
clock.
is.
Topham has tried to claim its contents, but he can't find the key.
If Topham can't find the key, maybe it's because it wasn't in Josiah's house.
Now, Miss Drew, I wouldn't go jumping to any conclusions.
Alright, then I guess I'll jump out because that's the only option I have.
I guess I'll be going.
Come back anytime.
I won't. Oh, can I? I can look around here.
Don't you ever use this typewriter?
That used to be Josiah Crowley's.
Ooh.
It was the only thing he left me in his will. Naturally, it doesn't work. The keys always jam.
October 9, 1929. Dear Mrs.
The typo.
Sheldon, here is the trivet I said you could borrow for your party at Twin Elms. Please take care of
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how typewriters work, so I don't know what this bit is.
it because I will want it back someday. Your friend, Josiah C. I wonder if Josiah ever got his trivet back.
It's also bad at typing. Which was a nice touch, actually. Here's the clock.
Where did you get this clock?
Josiah Crowley gave it to me. It stopped keeping time the minute he walked out the door.
Happens.
Looks like the key is missing.
Yes, I lost it some time ago.
Why do you have a piggy bank here? Oh, yes, the classic lamp that all the important people have. Alright. What was the other place I needed to go? I needed to go to that guy's house. I don't remember where it is, though.